Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Queen Elizabeth II has passed away.
We begin with the end of an era with the passing of Britain's longest reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II.
The world is mourning Queen Elizabeth II, who died this afternoon at the age of 96.
Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II has died.
As the world remembers and honors Queen Elizabeth II, word of her death echoing around the world today, Britain's Queen Elizabeth dying at 96 after a 70-year reign.
At the height of the Blitz in October 1940, Britain was teetering on the brink of defeat. Prime Minister Winston Churchill asked the king to let his daughter make a crucial contribution to the war effort. He wanted the 14-year-old Princess Elizabeth to make her very first radio broadcast to millions of people around the world. The speech was written to offer comfort to homesick young evacuees sent overseas. But there was another, more important motive. Britain was desperate for an ally, and Churchill believed that the young Elizabeth could charm America into declaring war on the Nazis. This was the first time the public had heard the young princess's voice. Elizabeth needed to summon all her weeks of practice to remain calm and composed.
All of us children who are still at home think continually of our friends and relations who have gone overseas, who have traveled thousands of miles to find a wartime home and a kindly welcome in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and the United States of America. My sister is by my side, and we are both going to say good night to you. Come on, Margaret. Good night, children. Good night, and good luck to you all.
The Windsor speech was a massive success. It was front-page news, and a skeptical American public was won over by the young princess. Windsor Castle itself became both a symbol of defiance and a beacon of hope against a superior enemy.
Royal Highness Princess Elizabeth, speaking from South Africa on her 21st birthday, marks the occasion with this simple but historic message.
Let me begin by saying thank you to all the thousands of kind people who have sent me messages of goodwill. This is a happy day for me, but it is also one that brings serious thoughts, thoughts of life looming ahead with all its challenges and with all its opportunity. Will you, the youth of the British family of nations, let me speak on my birthday as your representative. Now that we are coming to manhood and womanhood, it is surely a great joy to us all to think that we shall be able to take some of the burden off the shoulders of our elders who have fought and worked and suffered to protect our childhood. If we all go forward together with an unwavering faith, a high courage and a quiet heart, we shall be able to make of this ancient Commonwealth, which we all love so dearly, an even grander thing, more free, more prosperous, more happy, and a more powerful influence for good in the world than it has been in the greatest days of our forefathers. To accomplish that, we must give nothing less than the whole of ourselves. There is a motto which has been borne by many of my ancestors, a noble motto, I serve. Those words were an inspiration to many bygone heirs to the throne when they made their knightly dedication as they came to manhood. I cannot quite do as they did, but through the inventions of science, I can do what was not possible for any of them. I can make my solemn act of dedication with the whole empire listening. I should like to make that dedication now. It is very simple. I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong. But I shall not have strength to carry out this resolution alone, unless you join in it with me, as I now invite you to do. I know that your support will be unfailingly given. God help me to make good my vow, and God bless all of you who are willing to share in it.
The princesses spend most of their time in Windsor Castle, far from London. By just staying in Britain, however, they boost morale. They serve as symbols of English defiance. May 1945. The war in Europe is finally over. When it began, Elizabeth was a child who had the affection of the English people. She emerges from the war a young woman who has won their respect. In July of 1947, Elizabeth and Philip announced their engagement. Elizabeth is 21 years old. For a decade, she has faithfully played her role as princess. Now, she takes her next important step, her marriage to Philip. It is the most resplendent royal wedding in a century. Even at this moment, Elizabeth is aware that the day draws closer when she will ascend the throne, when she will fulfill her destiny and become Queen of England.
Queen Elizabeth II is one of the longest reigning monarchs in history. Since she came to the throne in 1952, she has met more presidents and potentates than any other head of state. Her reign has witnessed some astonishing changes in Britain and the world. For 60 years, she has tried to make the monarchy more relevant in a changing society. Her personal life has seen much turbulence. The failed marriages of her sister Margaret and 3 of her own 4 children have deeply saddened her. The idyllic royal family image was shattered by divorce and scandal, culminating in the tragic death of Princess Diana in 1997. Public reaction to Diana's death posed the biggest royal crisis since the abdication of Edward VIII in 1936. After Diana, the Queen successfully rebranded and modernized the monarchy while keeping its colourful pageantry intact. The Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebrates her years on the throne and the resurgence of popularity that the monarchy enjoys today. With Prince Charles settled into his second marriage and Prince William also married, the Queen has every reason to believe that the foundations she has laid will endure.
A long life can pass by many milestones. My own is no exception. It's understandable that we sometimes think the world's problems are so big that we can do little to help. On our own, we cannot end wars or wipe out injustice, but the cumulative impact of thousands of small acts of goodness can be bigger than we imagine. It's worth remembering that it is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change.
When people in 53 years from now look back on us, they will doubtless view many of our practices as old-fashioned. But it is my hope that when judged by future generations, our sincerity, our willingness to take a lead, and our determination to do the right thing will stand the test of time.
We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again.